So we back with another video. Today we got y'all boys with one of the best builds, one of the rarest builds of all time when it comes to these build names. Back with a new name in NBA 2K25. This is gonna be one of my favorite build names we've ever had. In my opinion, probably the best name we ever had. I just gave y'all, if y'all didn't know, I think it's probably the more, I guess, rare build name ever, because all around threat, in my opinion, it was the rarest build name. I like all around star, I like all around two-way, I like some of these other rare builds, but I still think all around threat. But if you think about all the current gens where it was in the game, they took it out, and then they started bringing it on next gen, and then at a certain point it wasn't in the game, and they brought it in the game, and then they took it out of next gen as well. So I still think all around threat was until the Demigod build, because Demigod actually got so much lore from 2K15. That's like a 10-year history. So that's actually kind of cool that they brought that into the game. But today we're gonna be making it all around threat build in 2K25, but with a new name. So yeah, if you haven't seen the previous video of this series, I did an inside out Playmaker build. Y'all do want more of these rare builds, all y'all gotta do is like the video. I did tease yesterday that I will start doing streams on the YouTube if y'all do want them. So if y'all do want that, put in the comments down below, show the support in any way, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff out the way. No more talking, let's just hop into it. If you buying anything on Fortnite, Epic Games Store, use code YaboiFitz. I don't know why I ain't been had this, but yeah. Alright, so let's hop into it. Now, first build we're gonna show you guys, it's pretty much gonna be one build, but I'm gonna do a little tweak for people that wanna be all around and a little bit more all around. But I'm gonna just try to make the most all around threat type build in NBA 2K25. Let's get to it. Young MM, hand and number is completely up to you. Now, when it comes to making an all-around threat build, it depends on what 2K you're talking about. When it first actually was able to be played on, to my belief, was 2K21 next gen. Now, when it was on the current gen at the time, it was in the game and then taken out. 20 was in the game and then taken out, but I've never seen anyone play with the build actually, so I don't know if that was hacks. I don't know if it was that. I don't know what that was, you know. So yeah, but for the most part, it could pretty much do everything on 21. But a lot of builds could. And it was on 22. It could do everything, but a lot of builds could. At 23, it was back again. And let's just say it's a build that could pretty much do everything from those next gen games. But they've kind of reduced how much you could do on a lot of these builds. So I tried to make the closest thing possible to that said build. So let's get into it. 6'3" is gonna be the height. We're gonna go a little bit shorter than usual, but this is gonna be the best way to probably be able to get everything on a build and still be very, very good. So then we're gonna go for the weight. It's gonna be 213, 6'7" wingspan. Now, like I said, you're not gonna be able to go crazy and try to have everything, but if you got cap breakers, you can go crazy on this build. So let's get into it. So point guard, 6'3", 213, 6'7". Let's get to the build. Now, when it comes to making the build, let's go over the stuff that we're gonna do cap breakers first and foremost. So, first cap breaker option is gonna be driving number. What we're gonna put that to? We're gonna put that to an 88. That's gonna be able to go up to a 93. And you're gonna be able to have posterizer gold, more content dunks for smalls, and you're gonna get the resurrection dunk package, which is probably the best dunk package in the game, and especially for guards. Go to the next cap breaker. We're gonna have 3-ball. 3-ball, we're gonna go 88. Now, this one is not as crazy as the driving up, but you do get a lot. You get 93, which is gonna take our limitless range from bronze to gold. You're gonna get even more Deadeye. You're gonna get even more mini marksman. You're gonna get even more set shot specialist. You're gonna even get even more shifty shooter if you go that +5, but that's already 10 cap breakers. Obviously, everybody not gonna have 10 cap breakers, but we are in June, so a lot of people should have 10. But for that few that have even more cap breakers, 87 ball handle, you can go to 92. Now, I did think about just doing 90, so you can go up to 92 and to 95, but it was just too expensive to have on this build, because like I say all the time, you can't have everything. Now, let's go back to the top. So we already got the 15 cap breakers you can use. You even get even more through the seasons. But yeah, that's the main cap breakers I did. Now, there's going to be more things you can raise through cap breakers, but a lot of the other stuff I'm going to show you guys is going to be fine where it is at. You don't have to raise it anymore. So let's get to it. Now, first things first, let's get to the finishing. Let's go down the list. Finishing, you pretty much gonna keep your close shot at 73, but you're gonna raise your driving layup to an 85. So now you have a pretty high layup, pretty high driving dunk, so you have an ability to score from laying the ball up or from dunking at a really, really high level. Then to go alongside that, you're gonna have a standing dunk of a 40, so now you're gonna be able to have the standing dunks in this game. That's gonna be pretty big deal, in my opinion. Now, mid-range, like I said, I'm gonna have an alternative version of this build because for people that do want more mid-range, I will give y'all a version of this build so that you can be a little bit more versatile. But yeah, having that 3 ball, I do think is gonna be a little bit more important for this one. So that's why I did make this the main one, but I will have an alt version in this video that has more mid-range. But yeah, 78 mid-range is what's gonna stay. And then the free throw, we actually gonna go up to 92 because it's an all-around build. Obviously, if you're not playing 5v5s, you're not gonna be shooting free throws, you can keep that lower and you can actually get more on your build. But let's keep going. 89 pass accuracy, 87, and then you're gonna go 91 speed ball. So that's gonna be pretty much the playmaking. Pretty good and balanced playmaking. Like I said, we already went over the cat breakers. We went over that off rip, so people can't be too confused. But if you are, your listening skills is pretty bad. Perimeter defense 85, steal 85, pretty balanced right there. We're just trying to go for as much balance as possible. It's an all-around threat build, literally in the name. 65 interior defense, and then to go alongside that, we're gonna have 63 block. Now, to go alongside that, we're even gonna go 60 rebound like we usually do to be able to get that rebound chaser, at least bronze, and that's pretty much gonna be the defense that we end up having on this build. The only thing I really have an issue with on this build is really the agility can't be higher, because if you want to have everything, you got to take hits somewhere, and if I did have the agility, the max caps on a lot of these builds wouldn't be what it is. So I did have to take a hit there, but that is gonna be kind of a big knock on it. But I did end up getting 85 strength to try to make up for that. But if you don't really care about strength on a 6'3 build, because like maybe you don't care about a move enforcer, maybe you don't care about strong handle, maybe you don't care about stuff like physical finisher, because like I said, there are other things that can go up with cat breakers, like the layup. If you go to 90, you won't be able to have like stuff like gold physical finisher and all this other stuff. So that is a big deal. But say for instance, if you don't care about that, you can go 80 here and then lower this and then go higher there. You know what I'm saying? So it can work out. It really just comes down to how you want to play with it. But I did end up just keeping it at 76 and then going 85. But like I said, it can work out how you want to play with it depending on your preferences. Everything I show you guys is a template. You can change this. You're not going to get the all-around threat build out of it. Name, that's why I said it's back with a new name. This is the closest name we're going to be able to have to an all-around threat in 2K25. Now, let's go ahead and get to the similitude shades up for this version, because like I said, I do have an alternate version, so we got to get to that as well. But for the most part, this is the build. The build comes out similitude shades of Tyrese Halliburton, who has been hooping in these playoffs, Cole Anthony, Kevin Johnson, and the build comes out as a two-way, 3-level playmaker. Usually, if you get this name, you pretty much made a really, really good all-around build. But like I said, that is not the only way to make it. Let's get into it. All right. Now let's get into the variant. So you're gonna be point guard still. You're still gonna be 6'3", but instead of being 213, you're gonna now be 217. Instead of having 6'7" wingspan, you're now gonna have 6'9", because we're not gonna be trying to get that 93 ball, and we're gonna be going for more so mid-range now. Now, when it comes to making the build, you still got a 73 close shot, you still got an 85 layup, you still got an 88, you still got a 40, you still got a 32. The big difference is gonna come down to the 3 ball. That's now gonna be an 83. Your free throw is now gonna go to an 84. And then this is gonna rise up more. You know, we're gonna try to get that even more, so we gotta lower even more stuff. So one thing that we did end up lowering, the speed of ball. You actually gonna have even more block. You got the same steal, the same perimeter defense, the same interior defense, the same rebounding. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much everything is gonna be the same, except now you get 88. Now that cat breakers is driving up, ball handle. But instead of 3 ball, it's mid-range, and you're going to get that mid-range to a 93, which is going to pretty much, all of these badges are still going to rise to gold, 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 except instead of having gold limitless range, you now only have bronze. Instead of having only gold set shot specialist, you now can get that up to a Hall of Fame set shot specialist. So it kind of is a give and take based off what you want to do. And like I did on the other one, if you want to get even crazier with it, you can lower this even more. And you can go all the way down to 60. I don't think you get anything for 65. Yeah, we're going to go down to 60, and then you can raise this to 84. You know what I'm saying? If you raise that to 84, now you can go like this. I don't think that's too necessary, to be real. I'll probably put the rest on this. Maybe even get more strength to try to get the 85. And I did get it. And then I guess we would have to go there. But yeah, that would probably be the build. And that way you get agility and for the people that don't really care about the strength. So there you go for both of those builds. But yeah, that's pretty much the build. I'll give y'all the name of this one as well. It probably comes out to the same name, I won't lie. We do get similar shades too. And when it says shades of, you mean you got the playmaking, passing of Tyrese, you got the defense of Drew Holiday, and you got probably like the all-aroundness of Kevin Johnson, and it just still comes out as a 2-way 3-level playmaker. But yeah, that's the build. That is all-around threat build with a new name. If you don't remember this series from 2K21, we brought it back a couple times already this year with the inside-out playmaker. We now did the all-around threat. If y'all do want more of the series, all you gotta do is like. This is pretty much making some of the best builds in 2K history, but in the current game. That's pretty much all the series is. But if y'all do want more videos like this, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Without further ado, man, it's your boy Fitz. Out of it, man.
I got digital dash camera with a art. I walk in the store and I buy the stock. I hide in the bins and pull out the lot. Got Tiffany diamond, it cost me a lot. They flying like birds.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!